This is Stu's News, bringing you the news behind the headlines with Stewart Pidlington.
Good evening, I'm Stu Pidlington, bringing you the news behind the headlines. Coming up, clouds outlawed, reverse commuting, and the rise of penguin politics. Our top story tonight: the government has taken decisive action against what it considers the biggest threat to national infrastructure. No, not potholes or inflation, but clouds. Yes, those fluffy things in the sky. Let's descend into the fog of policy with politics.
The decision follows an unprecedented incident in which a single rogue cloud hovered over Parliament, knocking out Wi-Fi during a 3-hour talk by the Finance Minister. The result? The Minister for Finance froze all taxes in mid-sentence. And with an eyebrow raised, it has yet to return to its natural position. A full serious investigation was launched, which is likely to have stratospheric implications that will catch the nimbus among us, which will have a cumulus effect. A suspect cloud was approached for comment. It said something, but no one could understand cloud language, and span off into a minor tornado. We approached other clouds that were not serious about the situation, and they continued without a nimbus in sight. More on this now, in our special report. Government bans clouds. In what is regarded as a mild disturbance in the cloud, government officials are calling a full-blown broadband attack. Clouds have officially been banned from the skies. In an effort to gain public support, clouds are now allowing people to discover gold at the end of a rainbow. And in a completely unrelated story, the council has invested in 1,200 umbrellas and a suspicious number of VPNs. Yes, we need to get our heads away from the clouds. Our minds were fogged up, where our expanded memories no longer need cloud storage to see through the mist of knowledge. The government, boxed up, said it will be cirrus and more cumulus stratonimbus from now on, with blue sky thinking. So Stu, are you joining the blue sky thinkers or the crowds looking for rainbows and discovering gold?
Thanks, Polly. And as for Operation Clear Skies, well, I suppose it's easier to blame the weather than fix the Wi-Fi. Coming up, we go to Socia L Climber in New York, where public transport just got outpaced by moonwalking, where reverse is the new forward.
I am in New York with a transportation story that's turned the daily commute on its heels. Literally, where what started in New York and what is moonwalking across the globe. It began as a fringe movement of quirky pedestrians, walking in a peculiarly strange fashion. But as of this morning, entire crowds are either walking backwards or moonwalking their way to work. Why? Because, and this is confirmed, it's faster than the train or bus. One experimental commuter told us, it's cheaper than a ticket, and more fun than reality. Another, sipping coffee while gliding in reverse, said, I started walking backwards as a joke. Now I've got calves of steel and I beat the 8:15 by 6 minutes. One commuter told us she just wanted to moonwalk past her coworkers without making eye contact, and honestly, we respect that energy. The Transit Authority responded by stating that, while we support innovative mobility, this behavior is confusing our ticket gates, turnstiles, and our station birds. We have confirmed footage that shows station birds are walking backward and others flying backwards, with some slowly reversing off a perch. Scientists have identified that reverse wingspan as an improvement, having an efficiency rating of 15%, and identified that standing still on a moving platform now qualifies as forward momentum. Meanwhile, urban philosophers have declared, the way to get ahead is by turning your back on public transport. I have discovered that in the ever-evolving world of travel, one truth remains. If you want to make progress in this city, don't follow the crowd. Walk backwards ahead of it. This is Socia L Climber, reversing out of the news. Back to you, Stu. Assuming that is, you're still facing the right way.
Thank you, Socia. So there you have it. Progress is moving backwards. Now, to geopolitical news so frosty it gives diplomacy the cold shoulder. Antarctica has formed its own country and elected a penguin president. Let's waddle into international affairs. Flippers first, with Bill in the studio and Flo where it freezes.
Now to breaking news from the frozen tip of sanity, where Antarctica has thrown its snowball into the geopolitical ring and declared itself an independent nation. That's right. The newly minted United Icebergs of Antarctica has held its first democratic election and, in a landslide victory, crowned a charismatic emperor penguin named Flapwell the Fair as president. He ran on a platform of waddle for all. And frankly, I'm waddling with excitement. For more on this developing blizzard of democracy, we go live to Tilla, currently in the icy heart of it all, where the icicles are playing havoc with our reception. Are you out there, Flo?
Bill, I'm standing on Iceberg 1, what used to be just a chilly slab of frozen despair and is now the very seat of penguin power. Behind me, the national flag proudly flaps, shows a marching line of penguin silhouettes waddling in unison across a blue and white striped flag. Its symbolism represents national unity, determined awkwardness, and impeccable coordination in cold environments. President Flapwell, who rose to prominence leading the March of Unity, clinched victory after a rousing campaign promising fish for all, waddle to freedom, and a flatter, fairer ice sheet. His inauguration speech was mostly squawks, followed by a moving belly slide across the parliamentary slope. I heard that these penguins nominated me for fisheries minister, mistaking me for an articulate snow woman. All debates were held flipper to flipper. No microphones, just raw, passionate squawking. The voter turnout reached 98%. The other 2% were off hunting krill or emotionally frozen. One albatross tried to form a flying coalition, was chased off by puffins yelling, "Not our beaks!" Global reaction has ranged from confused to cautiously amused. The president of Iceland is monitoring developments through binoculars and tweeted, "Chilling developments." Meanwhile, Greenland praised the move as a win for waddle power, while the US has asked for trade talks with a tariff freeze, saying they will not be out-waddled in negotiations. President Flapwell is expected to address the nation later tonight, assuming he doesn't regurgitate a celebratory sardine mid-speech, as he did at the press conference. Back to you, Bill, before I freeze solid and become a permanent correspondent.
Thank you, Flo. Stirring stuff. Antarctica may have just entered the global stage, penguin feet first, and while some say it's a slippery slope, President Flapwell insists that's just how they walk. Call it awkward, call it adorable, call it foreign policy with flippers. Stu, reckon we should all be waddling to work?
That's truly a momentous step for penguin kind, and a reminder that, in politics, standing still on a melting iceberg might still be better than moving forward. Now, if only we could get them a trade deal and a decent internet connection. So, there you have it. Clouds are banned, it's better backwards, and penguins are now politicians. I've been Stewart Pidlington, bringing you the news behind the headlines. On the Stews News Network, remember to like, subscribe, and share. See you next time, folks.